Hey, how y'all doing today? Running around. Memorial Day weekend, it's Sunday. Just taking a look through the garden. I haven't had a chance to get out here yesterday. We had get-togethers and things of that nature. I gotta eat crow this video. You know that I've said that I didn't like using anything but creek water on my garden. Well, the drought in Georgia has hit. So the creek has went down below ground and I have had to use sprinkler systems. But I'm just down here walking through. We're getting ready to head up to some families and come down and check everything out and pull up some tomato vines while I walk past the garden here. You can see I'm just weaving them through the fencing, getting them to grow upright. And there's the runt. I've been doing gardens for 30 some odd years and I have yet to figure out why one plant out of all those planted at the same time would not grow. My lone bell pepper plant. I'm the only one that eats bell peppers around here, so we're doing pretty good on the bell peppers. Some zucchini, some cucumbers. Homer on patrol as always. Sorry about that, hit the wrong button. I actually came down this morning and seen squirrels chewing at the corn again. So I've got some live traps set out. They've done figured out my pattern. As soon as I open the door, they take off running. I just happen to catch them out the window. But anyway, let's walk around real quick and I'll give you an update on the garden situation. Alright, we planted the pumpkins using the method that we normally use of the Coca-Cola cup. I think it's sitting right there in the pile. And this is the result that we've got so far. This is the pumpkins that are coming up. Pretty good stand of pumpkins. Now you got to realize that pumpkins and watermelons grow at a different rate. I think these are some Jubilee melons. The watermelon crop is just not doing good this year because of the rain issue. We've actually got some fixing to drop and run right there. Okay. Got a couple more hills dropping. That's the moon and stars. Those are heirloom seeds. Got a couple more coming up. That's cantaloupe. Right through here is cantaloupe. Okra's doing pretty good. I need to get in there and thin it back out. I know I'm moving the camera around a little bit, but that'll be okay. All right, and see here, I've got to get down here and tie these tomatoes up. You know that I am not a big believer in cutting off sucker branches. I just don't do that. And you can see why I don't do that. I don't need to do that. That is just something somebody started, I'm sure, years ago, and they actually used to do that to make more tomato plants. You know, and some prepper somewhere on YouTube got the idea of posting it that, oh my gosh, if you don't do this, you're not going to have a good crop. Well, let me tell you what. These tomato plants have been in the ground for 6 weeks. Look at the stems on them. I just want you to look how thick they are. Look at that. I didn't cut nothing off. I let nature run its course. Stems as big as tree branches, you know, and there's plenty of tomatoes on them. None of these got the suckers cut off of them. You know, if you want to do something, plant them deeper. You know, you don't have to cut the suckers off. You can actually plant them a few inches deeper in the ground, cover up those bottom few limbs, and it's going to turn into a better root system for you. I have seen my grandfather years ago, the tomato plants had gotten so tall when we had started them that he would actually lay off a row about 4 inches deep and we would plant the tomato plants laying down and just run the tip of them up, you know, and that was some of the best tomato plants in the world because your whole plant turned into a root system. So don't buy into all this. You got to trim this, you got to trim that. And the same thing's for your watermelons and cantaloupes. You don't have to do that. But I want you to look at something. If everything in the garden grew like a sunflower seed does, we would have no problems feeding anybody in this world, because these guys have been in the ground just as long as everything else has, and they grow 10 times better than, back into the barbed wire fence. They grow 10 times better than anything in the garden. And I didn't fertilize them. No Miracle Grow's been used on this garden at all. So I need to get pure and thinned out some of these squash plants. But I do have some lovely, lovely, lovely squash coming on. Beautiful bloom. Beautiful. Love them. And then I've got some zucchini coming up. Really strong and good. Got some there. And I've got too many plants right here. Way too many plants. But I'm going to let them grow. Cucumbers are running. I got to get them up on a fence. Got to. And my green beans are coming along. So we're doing pretty good. Pretty good. But the best thing about having your own garden is coming out here, picking you a nice little bell pepper, going in tonight, frying up a hamburger steak, pulling you a couple onions, cutting you up a fresh pepper, and enjoying it. You know, it's nothing to it. Anybody can do it, raised bed or whatever. But I did have somebody ask me about my sweet potatoes yesterday. I think it was No Justice. Just subscribe. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. But I'm going to show you how I do my sweet potatoes in case you didn't catch the video. Alright, what I do is I run a garden tiller down both sides, and I loosen that dirt up. Then I go in the middle. And I have what they call a potato plow. Actually, there it sits right there. But you can actually take a yard rake, and if I had my tripod here, I'd show you what I mean. You just take this dirt and you heel it up in your bed or whatever. But you make you a furrow, a heel out of this dirt. You can see the berm. It's pretty much what you're doing. And I even do that if I'm helping somebody do a raised bed. It just loosens up the soil, gives them room to expand in. And you just simply take your hand, dig you out a spot like that, put your vine in, and cover it up. Just like I did down through here. And another thing, you can cover up more of your vine, and it actually helps the root system a little bit on it. And it makes it directional. You can pretty much get a sweet potato vine to grow whichever direction you want. That way it doesn't grow into the other items. That's Kennyback potatoes right there. And I have got to get down here and put something on them because, as you can see, the bugs are absolutely tearing them up. But anyhow, that's an update on the garden. Update on the deer slayer. And he's doing his job. I can't complain. But I'm going to cut him off and give him a break so it doesn't burn that pump up. But hey, you got to use what you got to use in this world. You know, why spend time building a scarecrow or putting out a bunch of stuff when I've got Homer right there. Think that right home. But it works. So if you've got something like that that you can use to keep animals out of your garden, hey, do it. I can't sit out here with a pellet gun and a shotgun all the time. But, oh, for all you guys out there that think you watch these videos and you see people prepping the soil and, oh, I've got to do this and you have to do that and you've got to do this. Let me show you something. A couple videos ago, I posted where I dump all my old seeds at. After they're a couple years old, I usually do away with them. Usually every 3 years, every 36 months, I'll buy a new seed, and what I have left over, I keep in the freezer in the house. But look at that. That's just an old stick pile. I dumped the seeds down. That squash and zucchini coming up. It was not tilled. It was not fertilized. It was nothing was done to it. This is my garbage pile that when I'm doing my garden, as you can see, I throw my containers over here and I pick up sticks, and every year after garden season's done, I pile everything up here and I burn it. I burn it off. All my fence posts that might have beans or cucumber vines or something like that, I lay it across the coals and just let them burn off. So, yeah, don't buy into all the hype, you know. And as far as your sweet potatoes go, if you got a flower bed, you can plant them in that. Go down to one of the big box stores. I prefer the blue one. But buy you a couple bags of soil, slit the top in them, stick the sweet potato right down in that bag, and they'll grow fine. I mean, you don't have to really do anything. You just have to plant it and tend it. That's all you got to do. So, thank you for all the veterans that served. Happy Memorial Day. Have a great Sunday. And hit like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll get back to it as soon as possible. But thank you for watching the video again. This is Running Reb, and one last look at the garden coming up. And this is a $60 garden. That's exactly what I got in it. Well, probably not even that much. Maybe a $40 garden. But y'all have a blessed weekend. Hope you enjoy.